Welcome, O Ramadan.
Radio Sultanate of Oman 90.4 and the Sultan Qaboos Center for Islamic Culture presents Reaching Out Through Dialogue. Listen and get involved. It is a great experience for you personally. It would really create a balance on each and every one of us in this holy month of Ramadan.
Stand up.
Reaching Out Through Dialogue. Presented by Hatim Harif Al Abdussalam.
Charity.
Directed by Matloob Ayel Al-Wahabi. Reaching Out Through Dialogue. A special in this holy month of Ramadan. Here on 90.4 FM.
For the pleasure of Allah.
Dear listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's good to have you all on our show, Reaching Out Through Dialogue. I hope you all enjoyed our program throughout the holy month of Ramadan. Today we're going to deviate a little bit from the rest of the topics. Our topic today is participation of women in Omani society, historically and at present. Please join me in welcoming our distinguished guest, Dr. Suad Al-Lemki. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Alaikum salam.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. A bit of a sore throat.
Oh, inshallah, you feel better soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the show,
Thank you.
as you are the only woman to be on the show with us.
Thank you very much indeed.
Okay. Dr. Suad Muhammad Nasser Al-Lemki is Principal Legal Advisor to the Minister of Legal Affairs. She is the first Omani woman lawyer and is one of the two Omanis to be appointed as advisors in a ministry in 1998. She studied law in Trinity College and King's Inn in Dublin, Ireland. So let us get into today's topic, Doctor. I hope you're ready.
Certainly.
Inshallah. Recently, Oman has proven to be on the fast track when it comes to the development of women, the Omani women. Now, there are certain factors that highly contributed to the development of women in Oman. Doctor, can you please take us through some of these factors?
Certainly. There are lots of factors. I'll mention some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, firstly, the increase in the number of schools for girls in all regions and areas in Oman. Secondly, the establishment of educational institutions in various fields in Oman. Thirdly, making school education as well as higher education accessible to female as it is to male members of the society. Fourthly, women being given equal opportunities, equal to men. Fifthly, the Sultanate respects the teaching of Islam in setting and is setting the best example in giving women their rights. Sixthly, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos' special care on the issue.
Okay, amazing. Now, on the distinguished factor that led to the successful development of Omani women is the special care from His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, as you said. What can you tell us about this factor?
Certainly. Yes, under the wise leadership of His Majesty the Sultan, a great deal has been done towards the successful development of women in Oman, as we shall see hereunder. Firstly, from the outset of his reign, His Majesty the Sultan resolved that Omani women should not be marginalized in the new modern Sultanate. Women are expected, I quote, he said, to contribute to the movement for economic and social development, each according to her capacity, expertise, skills, and position within the community. The nation needs everyone to make an effort for the sake of continued progress, growth, stability, and prosperity. Close the quotation. He has advocated the advancement of women in all spheres of society and championed their right to help determine society's future.
So this is a direct encouragement from His Majesty to the women of Oman.
Definitely. We have a lot of encouragement from what he does. A lot from his speeches also.
And I think women should take advantage of this and, go forth and work hard to be part of the society
That's
and
fair.
even to deliver more.
That's what's happening, actually.
Inshallah.
All I see is that women who are holding responsible positions are working very hard and have so far proved themselves successful.
Okay.
Now, secondly, great importance was attached to the education and training of Omani women and ensuring they would contribute to their country's development alongside their male counterparts. Thirdly, Oman has opened up all areas of opportunity to women, an approach that today can be seen to be paying dividends. In 1988, Oman appointed its first female undersecretary in a ministry. In fact, a first for the whole of the Gulf state.
This is a good accomplishment.
Definitely for Oman, yes.
For Oman.
In 1989, a woman was elected to the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry Board of Directors. In 1999, Oman appointed its first female ambassador to The Hague. And in 2003, the first woman was appointed a minister. She was appointed as president of the newly formed Public Authority for Craft Industries. In 1994, women in the Muscat region, which is a home to the largest number of educated and qualified women, were invited to stand in elections for Majlis Shura, which is Consultative Council. And women were able to stand as candidates in all wilayats, in all regions, in the year 1997.
So all women had the opportunity to
Definitely.
to do the elections, to go through the elections.
Exactly. Not
Besides
only to vote,
men,
but not only to vote, but to vote
to
for
be
the other.
to be candidates as
Yes, exactly, to stand for election. There have been women in the State Council, Majlis al-Dawla, ever since it was first established in 1985. There are now altogether 14 women as members in the council. There are now women members of the Council of Ministers. Among them, the Ministers of Higher Education, Dr. Rawia Al-Busaidi, the Minister of Tourism, Dr. Raja Abdul Amir, and the Minister for Social Development, Dr. Sharifa Al-Yahyai. As we have seen earlier, the President of Public Authority for the Craft Industries too is in a position which carries it with the rank of a minister. In 1996, the Basic Statute of the state was promulgated. This, in fact, is the constitution of the Sultanate of Oman. By this law, under the chapter of the social principles, one clause enjoins the following. I quote, "Justice, equality, and equality of opportunities for Omanis are the pillar of the society and are guaranteed by the state."
So that's a very good indication that equality should be practiced in the Omani society.
Definitely. It's under the law,
when it comes to opportunities.
Definitely. Okay. And others, as you shall see.
Okay.
In the cultural principles of the same law, we read the following. Education is a cornerstone for the progress of society, which the state fosters and endeavors to spread and make it accessible to all. Now, another chapter, which is the public rights and duties, one article states that all citizens are equal before the law and share the same public rights and duties. There is no discrimination between them on the ground of gender, origin, color, language, religion, sect, domicile, or status. So no discrimination whatsoever.
Okay.
Furthermore, we can see that Women Association get the support of the government, which led to having branches of Women Association all over the country, in every region.
This also helps the social activities of women.
Definitely.
They encourage social activities of women.
Definitely. And above all, I would like to state that the development of women is not only in the public sector, but it's extended to the private sector.
I was about to ask you that because now most of the women are working in the private sector, so I think it's good to shine a light on that area as well.
Definitely.
So can you give us some examples on
yes,
in the
we've
private
got
sector?
many CEOs in the private sector who are ladies. I'll mention 3 of them. One of them is Moza Adawi. She is CEO in Dalil Petroleum. Then we have Fatma Masood Kharousi. She is the Director of Finance in the Petroleum Development of Oman. By the way, Fatma Kharousi was the first woman who became a chartered accountant.
In Oman.
First Omani woman to become a chartered accountant.
That's a very good achievement for Oman.
Yes.
For Oman.
We have many more as CEO. Gulf Air Regional Director is a lady in Oman, is Maitha Mahrouki.
So we can see that women are very capable of handling very big
Sure and certain.
tasks, and they're doing very well. And they're going forward with this.
I hope most people will realize that. Now, above all this special care from the Sultan, in October, just less than a year ago, that's October 2009, His Majesty issued an order, Makrama, that 500 more scholarships should be given to female school leavers who acquired above 80% in their exam. These 500 scholarships are over and above those who got scholarship following the usual procedure.
So this is an extra number.
This is an extra number of only, it's given to women only.
Okay.
Now, the order started to be implemented since last year. So already these 500 scholarships have been given to school leavers last year.
That's very good.
Yeah, it's very good. So we can see that there's a lot of special care from His Majesty concerning development of women. And that's very encouraging to women.
And I think they deserve it. They've worked so hard for it, and it's about time to enjoy the fruits.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Doctor. Women have long participated in every activity of a society. How important was this participation in developing the character of a Omani woman?
I would say that it gave confidence to those women who had any doubts about themselves or misconceptions about their fellow women. It has also give confidence to some men who had misconceptions about women.
Yeah.
It also encouraged women to pursue education and profession of their choice, because they know we can choose any profession as long as it's lawful. We're allowed to do it.
Okay.
There's no objection on a woman doing this or that.
Okay. We already went through the need for women's participation in society. Now let us go through the capabilities of women when it comes to taking different responsibilities in the society. Well, what can you tell us about that?
I would say, and I'm sure that a number of people will agree with me, that women have proven themselves capable and equal to men in shouldering responsibilities. As we have seen even this evening from what I've already said.
So
women
okay, so their capabilities are equal to the capabilities of men, or better than...
Well, I would say in a way better, not in those special responsibilities, but because they are multitasking.
Okay.
In addition to all that, a woman has still her home to take care of, her children and her husband.
Yeah.
So I would say in a way maybe they can handle responsibilities better.
Okay.
Women have proven themselves successful in education, in career development, as professionals, and in holding political positions, managerial posts, advisory posts, and many other positions as above mentioned.
And most importantly, the home post.
Yes,
Being the home boss.
Exactly. They still continue managing that.
Okay, let us now go through the past and discuss about some female leading figures in the Omani society. Tell us a bit more about this and give us some examples.
Actually, we had many great women in the past in Oman. Some date back to 9th Hijriya, 9th century.
9th century.
Hijriya, yes. The following, I'll give you only a few examples, 5 or 6 women. One was called Aisha bint Rashid bin Qusayb al-Riyamiyya. And she was popularly known as Aisha al-Riyamiyya al-Bahlawiyya because she was in Bahla. She used to live in Bahla.
In Bahla. Okay.
Yes. Aisha lived in Ya'ruba time during the ruling of 3 Ya'rubi rulers. Imam bil Arab bin Sultan al-Ya'rabi and Saif bin Sultan al-Ya'rabi and Imam Sultan bin Saif II. The historians are not certain about the year of her birth or death. She is said to have lived at the end of the 10th century and beginning of 11th century Hijri. She was a knowledgeable scholar in religious matters, and so people referred to her for advice in religious matters. She gained her knowledge partly from Al-Sheikh Saeed bin Bashir al-Subhi and Al-Sheikh Habib bin Salim Ambu Saidi of Nizwa and other mashayikh of her time. However, mainly she is a self-educated woman. She depended a great deal on herself to seek for knowledge through reading books. So she was intelligent and had a deep understanding of and was well knowledgeable with religion. Although Bahla was well known for highly knowledgeable mashayikh, they were very highly knowledgeable. Bahla was known for that at that time.
There are many scholars there.
Many scholars, highly qualified. However, Aisha outshined all people of her time in the field of fatwas and fiqh. In fact, she was a rare example of Omani women. Her fatwas were not only related to women issues, but also covered purification, faith, prayers, fasting, hajj or zakah, marriage, and al-iddah, which is a widow's waiting period after her husband's death. Her fatwas were not only referred to in other people's books, but they were also gathered in 2 books under the name of Al-Shaykha Aisha's Replies. Therefore, the effect she had on the society was tremendous. She was celebrated in her time that even a poem was written about her by Saeed al-Khashri al-Kharusi, stating that, I'm quoting, she was a blind woman, yet her benefits balanced 1,000 men. Politically, in addition to her knowledgeable stand, Aisha had also a strong political role. For example, she abstained from voting for the new Imam Saif bin Sultan al-Ya'rubi after he took over the throne on his brother's death. Aisha, along with other important personalities, she asked for explanation on Imam Saif's objection on his brother. Now, why she refused to vote for the Imam? Because she insisted that Imam should follow the procedural way of obtaining the throne, which involved him staying in his house away from the ruling fort for some time until the election takes place.
So this explains that she was strict when it came to her principles and the teachings of Islam.
She said she won't vote for him, and this made the Imam go out of the palace and to stay in his house. After staying there for 2 days, then Sheikha Aisha, we along with other people called her and questioned her why he objected to his brother during his when he was alive. And he explained that his brother was concentrating only on internal matters and not on expanding his power. So after this, Aisha agreed to vote for him. See how powerful it was. The Imam had to go out of the palace. Aisha agreed to vote for him as long as he worked on jihad and on the development of the country. Imam Saif did work on both. He went back as a ruler. He worked on both. He expelled the Portuguese and he developed the country, and he became one of the leading imams of Oman.
Interesting.
Now, the second personality I would like to mention is Azza al-Busaidi. After Aisha, Azza al-Busaidi, she was a sister of Imam Azan bin Qais al-Busaidi, who passed away in the year 1317 Hijri. She was brought up in a religious house in Rustak. She contributed her money for charity, such as building a mosque for ladies, known as Masjid Azza or Bint Qais, and feeding the fasting Muslims in Ramadan. She also bequeathed money for the maintenance of the mosque. Additionally, Azza used to lead Tarawih prayers during the month of Ramadan. We also have Zahra bin Saif al-Lemki, who was known for her bravery. She participated in battles and fed the fighters. Shuwaina bint Wadir used to memorize. She was a servant of Sayyid Hamid al-Busaid in Rustak, Sayyid Saif bin Hamid al-Busaidi. She used to memorize Quran, and she was very knowledgeable with local medicine, and she used to treat people the traditional way. There was another, Suad bin Said bin Saif Ma'miri. She was a scholar in Islam, and she was a caller of Islam. She was from Zanzibar with Omani roots, and she married Al-Sheikh Atfish and lived with him for 15 years. After his death, she went back from Egypt to Zanzibar and concentrated on spreading awareness of Islam. And finally, she died in 1415 Hijra in Oman. Maitha, an engineering of Al-Falaj. Legend says that Maitha, an Omani woman from the town of Bahla, proceeded to organize the course of the Al-Falaj and has launched the idea of engineering its construction, as people would rely heavily on irrigation of crops by Al-Falaj. It is worth mentioning that this Falaj is still called by her name, Falaj Maitha. That's about all.
This is very interesting. I think we can go on and on with the list, and it's a pity that we don't get to hear about the amazing women of Oman and the achievements that they made. I think people should look more into the books of history and find out more about the Omani women.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. There is a book called Women of Oman, and it's got a list of 190 women. And these women I mentioned here today, they are included in that book.
Yes. What is it called again, Doctor?
It's called Women of Oman. Important women in Oman.
Important women
in Oman.
In Oman. Okay. Now, Dr. Suad, if women had the capabilities in the past to have great achievements, I'm pretty sure you can take us through some examples of leading women in modern Omani society.
Yes, in modern Oman, 20th and 21st century, we also have some leading women holding political positions, administrative positions, and technical positions. For example, presently, there are 3 female cabinet ministers, as I've mentioned earlier, and 1 non-cabinet minister. We have also female undersecretaries and parliamentarians. We have leading professionals like medical doctors, legal advisors, advisors on education, telecommunications, bank managers, finance managers in oil companies and in banks, female prosecutors, and many more as previously mentioned.
I think all the best achievements are done by women.
Well, there are men also.
They are everywhere.
Yes, they are everywhere. But there are men also holding these positions. But because we're talking of women, so I'm mentioning women only.
No, it's good to know that we have a lot of women who are capable and are holding very important responsibilities in the country.
Omani women also occupy numerous senior positions in the administrative apparatus of the state, including positions as ministry director generals and ambassadors. In September 2005, another lady took the post of Oman's cultural attaché in London. A lady ambassador to Germany was appointed in 2009, and another lady was appointed as a permanent representative to the UNESCO in 2010. There are also chairpersons of boards of directors, board members of the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Businessmen Council, Muscat's Municipal Council, and many other vital bodies that contribute to the smooth running of the country. First two Omani advisors to the ministry, a male and a female, were appointed in 1998.
Which you're one of them.
Yes, I'm one. I'm the female. Thank you.
That's good. Okay, can you tell us a bit more about the great achievements of Omani women in the international level? On the international level?
Yes, on the international level, we have a few. There's an academic, Dr. Fatma Salim Mamiri, who's the first Omani PhD holder. She was born in Zanzibar in March 1911. She was one of the first 8 girls who graduated from Sania Secondary School in Cairo in 1929. Sania School was the only secondary school. Sania School in Cairo was the only secondary school for girls in the whole of the Middle East. Further, she was one of the first 3 women who joined Cairo University in Egypt, where she obtained her degree in Latin in 1933 and her master's degree in 1942. She was lecturing in Cairo University and later is seconded to Alexandria University. In 1955, she acquired her PhD in Latin from London University. In 1955, she acquired her Latin degree from PhD from London University. And in 1960, she became a full professor in Alexandria University. She died in Oman in July 2002. The first woman ambassador, Mrs. Khadija Al-Lawatia, was appointed an ambassador to the Netherlands in 1999 and remained there until the year 2009. She also covered Luxembourg as a non-resident ambassador. Presently, our ambassador to the USA is Mrs. Honaina Al-Mugheri since the year 2005. She also covers Canada, Brazil, Argentina as a non-resident ambassador. Our ambassador to Germany is a lady, Dr. Zainab Al-Qasmi, since the year 2009. She also covers all Scandinavian countries, Poland and Denmark as a non-resident ambassador. It should be noted that all the above-mentioned ambassadors are covering very wide geographical areas and are shouldering big responsibilities.
We're actually very proud of them. This is a very good achievement.
Yes. Only a few months ago, Mrs. Madiha Al-Shaibani was appointed as Oman Permanent Representative to the UNESCO. This is equivalent to the position of an ambassador. The Sultanate's WTO representative in Geneva is a lady called Hilda Al-Hinai. Just 2 months ago, we read in the Oman Daily newspaper that an Omani lady engineer by the name of Bushra bin Jafar Al-Abduwaniya invented a device that converts garbage into organic fertilizer that can successfully be used in agriculture in less than 1 hour. That is, it can be converted from garbage to fertilizer in less than 1 hour, as opposed to the old method that used to take 6 months to do the same job. Thereby, she became the first woman from the Gulf countries to register a patent.
That's very interesting and
Yes,
amazing
very,
as well.
very, very
I think
interesting.
we have very smart women in Oman.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And I think we men we started envying you and I think we should all, men and women generally, should take the same footsteps and work hard and strive.
That's true.
for-
I
for
agree
the
with
sake of
you
this
totally.
country. Yeah.
Yes. Now, with the younger generation, we have Miss Suad Nasser Abdallah Riyami, who won the under 16-year-old international competition known as the World Globe Jotters on poetry in the year 2003. She obtained a copyright in relation to this. We also have Miss Fatma Talib Al-Nabhaniya as an international tennis champion who has a junior ranking of 33rd in the world and 4th in Asia.
So basically, we have women all around doing all sorts of achievement in all areas.
Definitely.
And even you gave us some examples of young people in
Oh, yeah.
sports, in poetry. This is really
and I'm
amazing.
sure there are a lot more that
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
aware of.
I think all the rest of the women who have great achievement will have to excuse us because we are not able to fulfill or cover the whole list of women achievers in Oman.
Yes.
But we just wanted to let our audience know that women in Oman are doing very well, and I think we're all proud of them.
I agree with you.
You
I
agree
hope
with me?
those we haven't mentioned, they will excuse us. We are giving this only as an example.
Okay.
They are not the total lot. There are many more who did a lot, which maybe I haven't mentioned here today.
Okay, Doctor, we'll go for a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, Doctor. I'm sure women came across many challenges and difficulties, whether from the culture or from the high level of competitiveness from men's world. Can you go through some of these challenges and tell us how women overcome them?
Yes, in Oman, some time back, girls used to get married at a very young age, thus did not have the chance to complete their education. However, this is now done away with as the Personal Status Law of 1996 has put the minimum age for marriage as 18 years old. So legally speaking, under 18 should not get married, neither a man nor a woman. Culturally, as is with many countries, the need of having women educated was not seen as very important, since women were considered to be good enough only to have babies and raise them up. This is the second point. And thirdly, girls' schools were limited in number, obviously, because they didn't see the necessity of educating girls.
So more opportunities were given to male
To male members,
students.
yes. Finally, now that we do have many education institutions and laws which support the education of all and allows equal opportunities to all Omanis, there is still a very big challenge. That challenge is the mentality of the people.
Can you tell us a bit more about this?
It's the mentality of the people who believe that women are not as capable as men are. Unfortunately, this mentality is not vested in men only, but also in women.
So women need to have confidence in themselves.
In themselves and in their fellow women. However, gradually, I believe we will definitely overcome this as women prove themselves more and more capable.
Okay. Now, I'm sure that many young women are listening to today's topic, and they're very happy about it. And are hoping to develop and have major achievements in their lives. What would you like to tell them, Doctor, as a word of advice?
Not much in words, but much in meaning. If they only listen to this, my advice to young ladies is that they should work hard wherever they are, whether they are students in schools, they are employees, whether they are professionals or business women, or leaders. This is what our religion actually requires of us, to work hard.
And
this is
sincerity.
what and this is what our country needs in development of the country. Since we women form about 50% of the population, we can contribute a great deal to the well-being of the country if we work hard and sincerely.
Inshallah.
Above all, I advise all women to have confidence in themselves, as we women need to prove ourselves in order to reverse the opinion and misconception currently held by many people about women's capabilities.
Dr. Suad, finally, I just need you to make a statement to all of our listeners to clarify a misconception about Muslim women. Dr. Suad, you being as a Muslim woman and living within an Islamic community, in your opinion, do you feel that Muslim women are oppressed?
Well, I will talk about, I'll break this into two parts. Yes, there are some Muslim countries who do not give women, not necessarily oppress them, but they do not give women their rights in full, as required under Islam. This is very unfortunate for different reasons. Maybe due to misinterpretation of religion, and I think in most part it is due to tradition of the country in question. However, concerning Oman, I must say that I did not feel neither I nor any other woman has been oppressed, because I've been given a chance equal to my colleagues. I've been given wherever I worked. I'm in the ministry, I'm given all the chances that the male counterparts are given. Promotions, if I work hard, I get promotion. And I was given the chance to come. I've reached the top now of my profession. I've got nowhere else to go.
And you're given an opportunity also to be on the show.
Yes,
where it's full of men.
Yes, exactly. I believe I'm the only woman.
Yes,
so
we insisted that.
So this shows that actually women are given a chance to do any work, to go for any profession, provided it's lawful. They are not stopped. They just have to work hard, have to make a decision and work towards implementing their decision. That's all.
What about the character? How can the character of women give a good impression to others?
I think
that women in Islam are happy, are given full rights, and
I feel
world.
Women should have confidence. And show that they have confidence. They should not fear to speak out about what they think at work, for instance. They should be ready to give their opinion when they are asked to give their opinion. And, they will feel at ease. They will feel equal to the male colleagues, if they themselves have confidence in themselves and they work hard. And definitely they are not oppressed, I mean, we can see it. If we're oppressed, we wouldn't be where we are. And we have so many CEOs, we have got ministers, we have got undersecretaries, we have got business women, by the way. We have many business women as well.
Now, what would you like to say to the men?
Well, not much, except that those men who are married and their women are professionals or working, I ask those men to be understanding and to be supporting, because that matters a lot to a woman. A woman who has a supporting husband, you find she gets on with her career, easily. But if the husband keeps on telling her, do this, do that, don't do this, don't, it will be hard for her.
So
they should give support to their wives.
The encouragement.
Yes.
To go forward.
And I would say that to the fathers also, for the girls who are not married, they should get support of their brothers, their fathers.
Dear listeners, Dr. Suad Al-Lemki, Principal Legal Advisor to the Minister of Legal Affairs, was our guest today, and we talked about women in the Omani society. Thank you so much, Dr. Suad, for being with us. I really enjoyed the show, and I'm sure our listeners enjoyed as well. I hope you all enjoyed today's topic. I'm Hatim Al-Absalam signing off for today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.